To 𝗥𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝗶𝘀𝗀 during these holy months of Ramadan on a mission of solidarity. Solidarity with Rohingya refugees and solidarity with the Bangladeshi people and the local communities that so generously host them. Fasting and having an iftar together with you are the proof of my deep respect for your religion and your culture. And I'm here to shine a global spotlight on the plight, but also the potential of Rohingya refugees. The more than 1 million Rohingya refugees here are proud, they are resilient, and they need the world's support. After decades of discrimination and persecution, we had a massive outflow 8 years ago following the massacres that took place in Arakan. Many others arrived more recently, escaping brutal violence of human rights, triggered generalized anti-Muslim hate. And this is especially significant as the world tomorrow officially marks the International Day to combat Islamophobia. Rohingya refugees have come here for what people anywhere seek: protection, dignity, safety for them and their families. I met and spoke with many of you today and was inspired by your courage and moved by your determination. Many shared harrowing accounts of their ordeals in Myanmar and their journeys here. They want to go home. Myanmar is their homeland, and returning in a safe, voluntary and dignified manner is the primary solution for this crisis. My message to all parties in Myanmar is clear. Exercise maximum restraint, prioritize the protection of civilians in accordance with international humanitarian law, and prevent further incitement of communal tension and violence, paving the way for democracy to take root and to create the conditions for Rohingyas to be able to go back home as they all want. But the situation in Myanmar remains dire, including in Rakhine State. And until the conflict and systemic persecution ends, we must support those who need protection here in Bangladesh. I have to confess that we are on the verge of a deep humanitarian crisis. With the announced cuts by several countries of their financial assistance, we are facing a dramatic risk, the risk to reduce the food rations to the Rohingya refugees to a level that would be 40% of 2025. That would be an unmitigated disaster that we cannot accept, because people would suffer and even people would die. And so my voice will not end until the international community understands that they have the obligation to invest now to support the Rohingya refugees here in Bangladesh and to make sure that the people that already have suffered so much will not have an additional problem. We will do everything to solve the problem of the food rations. Humanitarian assistance is important. But we must recognize the enormous support of the Bangladeshi people, sharing their land, their forests, their scarce water, and their meager resources. I was last in 𝗥𝗶𝗴𝗵𝘁𝘀𝗶𝘀𝗀𝗏 in 2018, and have seen many improvements in the camps. But the challenges are great at so many levels. These camps and the communities that host them are on the front lines of the climate crisis. Summers are scorching, and the chance of fires skyrockets. In the cyclone and monsoon season, floods and landslides destroy homes and lives. In addition to essential food aid, people here are also hungry for education, skills, and opportunities for independence. So you have a special obligation to ensure that the aid reaches the Rohingya refugees and show that the world has not forgotten them. That is why the cuts by the international community of the aid to Rohingya refugees is unacceptable. And I repeat, Cox's Bazar is ground zero for the impact of budget cuts on people in desperate need, and we must do everything to make sure that that does not happen. The solution must be found in Myanmar, and will not give up until conditions allow for the voluntary, safe and sustainable return for all refugees here. And until now, I urge the international community not to reduce the support to Rohingya refugees. They must step up and guarantee your well-being. This is the holy month of Ramadan, the month of solidarity. It would be unacceptable that in the month of solidarity, the international community would reduce the support to the Rohingyas in Bangladesh. We will do everything not to make it happen.